Secondly, Moscow court sentenced Alexei Navalny to prison for 2.5 years for violating his probation for going to Germany to recuperate from being poisoned. Does the White House plan any additional steps in response?
Well, Josh, you may not have seen this because I think it just came out, but Secretary of State Tony Blinken put out a statement in response to the sentencing. I will just let me reiterate some of the pieces from here. We are deeply concerned by Russian authorities' decision, I should say, to sentence opposition figure Alexei Navalny. Like every Russian citizen, Mr. Navalny is entitled to the rights provided in the Russian Constitution, and Russia has international obligations to respect equality before the law and the rights to freedom of expression and peaceful assembly. We reiterate our call for the Russian government to immediately, unconditionally release Mr. Navalny, as well as the hundreds of other Russian citizens wrongfully detained in recent weeks for exercising their rights. I will say so to your specific question. There is an ongoing review. We announced, I think it was early last week, of a number of the reported or concerning actions, I should say, by the Russian government, which includes the treatment of Alexei Navalny. It includes a full assessment of the SolarWinds hack. It includes a review of the reports around bounties on troops. And it also includes reports of an assessment of engagement in the 2020 election. That's an ongoing review by the National Security Team. When they conclude that will launch, a policy process to determine what steps we will take from here.
Go ahead. On the relief bill, Democrats are obviously moving ahead with this process. You all are still hopeful that you can get bipartisan support, but you've also made it clear that you're not going to slim down this bill significantly. So where right now is the greatest potential for compromise to try and achieve that bipartisanship?
Well, you're right, Mary, that I think, and this was evident in the discussion last night. It was, as we said in our readout, and I think as Senator Collins also said, it was civil, it was constructive. This is how democracy should work. We should be engaging. Democrats and Republicans should be engaging with each other, but there certainly is a gap between where we are and where the Republican proposal that was discussed last night was. There are some, bottom lines, I think, the president has, which he has conveyed in the meeting last night and reiterated to us this morning, which is, to put it simply or accessibly for people, he believes a married couple, let's say they're in Scranton, just for the sake of argument. One is working as a nurse, the other is a teacher making $120,000 a year, should get a check. That's in his plan. In the plan presented by Republicans, they would not get a check. And his view is that at this point in our country, when 1 in 7 American families don't have enough food to eat, we need to make sure people get the relief they need and are not left behind. As was also a part of our readout last night, there was a discussion, there's some technical follow-up where there's opportunity to discuss issues like small business, issues like COVID relief. I'm not suggesting a reduction, I'm suggesting how to do it effectively. And those technical discussions at a staff level